Good evening. Taking pills as prescribed is a challenge. My name is Jamie, and personally, I take the birth control pill. I know for the birth control pill to be maximally effective, it needs to be taken every day at the same time. But choosing and sticking to a set time can be difficult for me. Like many people, my schedule is unpredictable. On any given day, I wake up and go to bed at completely different times. I also end up rearranging meetings, errands, and tasks. This can make remembering to take the birth control pill challenging. But this problem isn't unique to me. In fact, half of all women in the US who take the birth control pill report missing at least one pill every month. For this reason, we're targeting the 10 million women between the ages of 15 and 35 who currently take the birth control pill in North America. After doing research, we identified 3 behavioral barriers at the root of this problem. Number 1, memory. With so much going on in our day-to-day lives, even if we pre-commit to taking the pill at the same time every day, it's easy to forget. Number 2, convenience. Taking the pill isn't exactly convenient. The packaging isn't discreet, and having to rummage through your bag to find the pill can attract unwanted attention. And lastly, gratification. Unlike taking Advil for a headache, taking the birth control pill provides no instant emotional or physical gratification. So how might we solve this problem? Introducing Beju. Beju is a high-tech, discreet healthcare wearable that is reinventing the way women take the birth control pill. Designed to look like an elegant bracelet, women simply load their existing pills, and then Beju will store, lock, and discreetly dispense them. First, the Beju user has to carry her pill with her every day and take it. Over a period of a month, she can have to rely on her memory upwards of 60 times. Beju can reduce this to 1. She now simply has to put the bracelet on. After that, Beju will alert her when it's time to take her pill and load the bracelet. Second, Beju users consistently and conveniently have their pills on them at all times. When it's time to take the pill, she simply pulls the ball out at the end of the bracelet to dispense her pill, discreetly and quietly. She no longer has to rummage through her bag and pop through the packaging. And lastly, Beju addresses the challenge of lack of gratification through a combination of encouraging and discouraging nudges. Once the bracelet vibrates, the user will take her pill. If she takes it, Beju will send a positive message immediately. As users consistently take their pill, Beju will send targeted discounts for third-party products. But what if she doesn't take her pill? Beju will send a second nudge, and it's a discouraging nudge, in the form of a funny meme, reminding her of the downside of not taking her pill. If the user ignores the second nudge, Beju will send a third and final nudge, alerting her as well as her pre-selected pill adherence buddy, possibly a partner or a best friend.
As we look at the competitive landscape, there's currently no single product that addresses all 3 behavioral barriers. There are, of course, many things to help with memory. Some brands of pills come in packaging that's a little more discreet and easy to carry around. And certainly there isn't anything to help create that emotional or physical gratification that will encourage long-term adherence to pill taking. As we looked at our path to market, we started to speak to product designers, a manufacturer, a lawyer, to test whether the product was valid, was it feasible, and whether our timeline was feasible as well. And from their feedback, we got a sense that we could launch within a year. And to do this, there are 3 kind of critical paths that we have to take. 1, prototyping and validation. 2, partnerships with different pharma companies, and partnerships with manufacturers as well. In the longer term, as we had 5 years, we're actually looking at cross-application of this product. Beju is a very personal product, and therefore we really want to sell it direct selling at the start. We really believe that the first 100 women, if we can make them love the product, they can be brand ambassadors, and that will really just help kickstart us off into the market. As such, we're going to start locally within Toronto. It's a market that we know, and do this by reaching out to women through local influencers as well as local businesses to reach out to them. We have started doing this, and the initial feedback has really been quite positive, so we're happy for that. As we start looking nationally, this business engagement is really important because this will form the basis where we get the discounts that we'll use for the positive nudging, and also it helps us to build our pipeline of sales as well as getting a recurring revenue model. As we go out into the future, we're looking at different event engagements where we could go out, take the prototype, have women interact with it, and build that kind of community engagement. As we get closer to launch in the 1 year, that's when we'll build up our digital presence or social media presence so that we can get women who are early adopters to get and direct them to our product.
We ran a small experiment for an initial proof of concept. So individuals who took part in this week-long experiment were reminded at pre-committed times to take a Tic Tac as a proxy to the birth control pill. So having the pill on their person, well, the Tic Tac on their person and getting reminded significantly improved their pill adherence. However, there was still room for improvement, and that is also why we decided to incorporate discouraging nudges into the Beju. So every time we engage with our customers, we learn, and for this reason, we will continue to work with them to further refine our product to make sure that we continue to meet their needs. So in year 1, we will earn revenue off of bracelet sales on a per unit revenue model. We compared the Beju to the most similar smart product we could find on the market, which was the Fitbit. From there, we estimated production costs and also pricing. So today, the birth control pill is socially accepted and is the #1 contraceptive choice for women in North America, with many places looking to make it available over the counter. So though not all of us on the team are on birth control, but all of us have a personal story related to pill adherence, and we believe our diverse backgrounds will help ensure Beju is a success. We see the potential this product has not only for birth control, but even in other applications in the pharmaceutical market. So in closing, we are very excited for this opportunity to help women successfully take their birth control pills as prescribed, because, as we all know, every good story ends with a period. Thank you.
Questions?
I'll go first. I know that you guys talked about the applications for other types of pills, of course. There is a rising trend around IUDs, which, of course, tackle a lot of these issues. So when you're thinking about deploying in the Toronto market, how are you going to tackle some of the competing trends against this?
So when we ran a survey, we surveyed about 70 people, and they got back to us. And we actually found that about 20% of the survey respondents had actually stopped taking the birth control pill to switch to the IUD. The main pain point being they kept consistently forgetting. And so, I mean, we believe that the pharmaceutical companies such as Aless and Yasmin will want to partner with us going forward because they're losing market share. There's also been a growing trend towards birth control pills becoming over-the-counter dispensed. And so part of our revenue model after the first couple of years is actually to move towards a recurring revenue stream on a subscription basis for the pill. So great question, but we believe that making it easier for users will actually increase compliance with actually sticking to taking the birth control pill.
So I must be showing my age because the first thing I thought of was a Pez dispenser when I saw the presentation. Wearing wearables, right? The very definition is, you know, my kids who have Fitbit, they wear it and they are able to take a shower. You know, are these items waterproof? Like how wearable are they in terms of the effectiveness of being able to use it on a constant basis?
So one of the most important things that we had to think about when we started this is we are competing for wrist space. So there's people who are wearing bracelets, Fitbits. They're not going to slap on multiple wearables on the same wrist. So we showed briefly an app that accompanies the product. So in this app, we want to kind of achieve parity with many of our competitors. So that's how we tackle that problem. The reason the bracelet is designed this way is because we want to be discreet so that it can be worn and more versatile across many different functions. Now, with that being said, it is a complete closed environment. So this locks. It's not just a Pez dispenser that you can open at any time. It locks, seals, and the intent is that we're building something that's durable and is on par with all other wearables, and it can be worn anywhere you are, so that you always have the pills on you when you need them.
Maybe on that same train of thoughts, why did you decide to go with a hardware solution and not a nudge through my phone?
Yeah, so one of the biggest barriers, it's having it on you. So the packs aren't, from my understanding, aren't always the most discreet. And I mean, I even just in my work experience, digging into your purse, or when a woman's digging into her purse, and it's not necessarily in a meeting. It's not the most discreet activity. So we thought it was very important to have it on you, so that when you get that nudge, there's no waiting to go into your bag. It's on you, and the woman can take it as soon as she gets that nudge, so that it's nice and convenient and discreet. Was the very important part of it.
I don't know if you went over that, but could you explain the cost model and how much?
Yeah, so the numbers that we have are very, let's call them targets. So this is where we know we feel we need to be competitive. We need to do some more work with manufacturers and engineers to really, hone in on the cost. We've also, we've received some advice to join a trip to go to China to talk to manufacturers there. So really, once we hone that in, we don't know the true cost. So what we've done is looked at competitors' costs and their markups and kind of picked, okay, this is where we need to be from a price point, and this is where we need to be from a cost point to be competitive.
We have time for one more question.
I guess I have two questions. One is, did you take into account you want to send gratifications and rewards and so on, so that would have a cost as well? Mm-hmm. But maybe, I guess, have you thought about the potentially positive or negative social stigma of wearing this? And is that, have you thought about that?
Yeah, so definitely we thought about that. So with the first question, the cost associated with the marketing, once we get our user base up, so we're really focused on getting on the unit sales right now because we need to get our user base up. Once we get our user base up, we have a really concrete target market that some retailers, manufacturers are going to be wanting to target. So we do think we have an advertising play once we can get our user base up. To your second question, the design is just for that, so that it blends in with common jewelry that can be purchased today. It's not something that looks unique. We're not looking for something that when you see it, you know that what it is, because that's a discouraging thing, right? So the design is to be versatile, it's to blend in and be uniform.
All right. Thank you, guys. I think I'll always remember, what is it? Every story ends with a period.